So you join me underneath 2.8 Xpack, Capri. A few wee minor jobs, hopefully nothing too major in this one. Diff is leaking and the anti-roll bar bushes are shot, so why not start with those? So I've got some of this stuff to try. It's called Bulldog BDX. It's meant to be 10 times better than WD-40 and all the usual lubricants. So we'll have a wee go and see what it does, I guess. I'm about to start on these rear anti-roll bar bolts up in here, and let me see if I can bring these in. Maybe not that well, but they're not that overly hot up in there, so we'll have a wee look and see what this can do. So let that sit a wee while, and yeah, see what it does. So that has been soaking for a while. I've put a couple different applications of it on, so we'll see how we go. Lovely. Fear of sounding like Ed China here, just soak it, it pops out, but yeah, it does seem to be a good job. One anti-roll bar. Need to take this to the press because I'm going to need to press these bushes all out of it and cut these ones off. The new ones are polybushes, so they'll be a lot easier to fit, hopefully, because I think they're split down the middle down here. So yes, I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to, while I'm all set up here with the camera and everything, I'm going to start taking the diff cover off and getting this gasket changed out. All these bolts are all grown up with paint and rust, so I'm just going around them and tapping the socket on. Break a bit of the paint off. Lovely. I have a bucket on the floor ready to catch the oil, all being well, if it comes off. I'll leave some of those in and just pry it out at the bottom so the oil just trickles out, hopefully, and doesn't hit me in the face. Just like that. Anybody that has worked with gear oil in the past will probably agree with me here that it's not something that you want to get in your clothes. Your wife just doesn't forgive you for a while. So the limited slip dip this thing. Both wheels are turning in the same direction. So time to get this cleaned up. Get the new gasket on. Seems really solid, to be fair. I don't think there's any pinholes in it. Sometimes these oil things, whenever they go, it's actually not the gasket, they have pinholes in them, but the inside of this thing looks spotless. So thankfully I think we're okay. Okay, give that a brake clean and quick go with sandpaper, and then move on to the car. I'm not putting a big film of this stuff on, it's literally just a smear over it. It's not enough to ooze out whenever it's tightened. You don't want that silicone floating in around your axle, so okay, that's that on that side. Go and smear some around on the diff casing and get ready to fit. So that's the case just slid back up on. Time to get her bolted home. Then we can move on to getting the anti-roll bar bushes pressed in. Or out first rather, then in. Well, you need to put oil in this too actually. There. Right, so let's try this and see. Anti-roll bar is sort of propped up in the press. Think of the right size socket here and a bigger one underneath to let it drop through. Let's see what happens. And oh, it's moving. There we go. There's one out. A bit trickier to hold this like this, but we'll give it a go. It's going. Need a bigger bottom piece is the current predicament. This isn't letting the bush go down through. What do you say? Bear with me, I'm just finishing this wee job off here. Finally, out. Okay, so we're back. I've got the new Superflex bushes. Polybush is, I think the thick edge goes out towards where it meets the chassis. So let's get going. Bit of lube to start with. Would that work with that on there? Let's have a go, see. something's happening. Yes. Lovely job. We're in. So repeat on the next side. Lovely job. So, of course, fitting is the opposite of removal. So, I have the new bearings or the new bushes on here. They're lubed up again with the same stuff, the silicone grease. So, time just to put the clamps on, put the bolts in, and that should be hopefully the back end of this car done. Well, that's the back end hopefully all done. Move up to the front now and start onto the oil leaks. So, time to start stripping this engine here a bit. All the stuff on the 2.8 has to come out of the way, so start with the inlet pipe and the coolant bottle and any hoses and pipes that I need to take off, and we'll go from there. I think I've just inadvertently diagnosed another problem. It's been losing water, and whenever you lift the expansion tank up, it's pissing out round the radiator cap. And I know that isn't a pressure cap on this, but I don't think it should be pissing out around it, so that might be the issue. So, valve covers are off, as you saw in that last wee bit. They fault me. Our driver's side one was literally welded on. The gasket was just immovable. Half of it's still stuck on there. I'm going to have to get it off. But while I'm in this far, there are some running issues with this car. It is apparently really low in power, and whilst I'm in with the valve covers off to fix the leak, I might as well check the basics and do the valve clearances. So I've started already on cylinder number 5, and already number 5 exhaust valve was stupidly tight, so that won't be helping matters. I'm going to run around, do all the valve clearances on all the cylinders. I'm going to do them once, then spin it over again and check that they're correct again. And yeah, so I have got the rudder covers off, as you saw earlier. I've been through now and set all the valve clearances. I've done it a couple of times, just run it through the cycle again and again just to make sure they're all spot on. That's all done. The next step is to get the rocker covers fitted again. So I have pre-fitted the gaskets to the, sorry, I have somebody making lewd gestures behind the camera. Matthew.
Hello.
I've fitted these to the rocker covers. They're now dry, stuck to it. And I'm going to put a layer of grease out around here before I set them on. I think that's going to be the next step. Everything else is done in there. Clearances are set. And yeah, let's get this bolted up. Okay, so ignore the flashing light on and off, but rocker covers are both back on. Might be able to see better on this side. Yeah, you can. So they're both back on. Such a peg of an engine to work on this thing. Nothing's handy, and getting the bolts, which are down in sort of there, is not handy either on both sides. Sorted anyway, and hopefully not leaking. I'm going to start her up here now just to see what she sounds like after the valve lashes have been set, and probably leave it here for today. So yeah, let's get it starts. Now this thing might be a bit spluttery upon first start. I believe there's an issue with the warm-up regulator on this. It's a 2.8 injection, so therefore it has KJ-tronic fitted to it. So basically the warm-up regulator, I believe, works under 35 degrees C, and it basically richens the mixture whenever it's colder to fatten up a bit. But I believe there's an issue with it, hence why it's not good basically. So we'll see if it's going to start, if it's going to mess around, we'll go from there. What I'm really interested to see is if there's any ticking noises in the valve train after I've just set them. Sounds good. Now, this hasn't been started in 2 or 3 days, and before I set the valve clearances, this thing, as I said, was messing around, spluttering, cutting out. It's not doing it now, so I'm still going to check out the warm-up regulator just in case, but until I take it for a drive up the road and see how it's driving, to see if it's gained any power first of all, we'll not know. So that'll do me for this one. I am going to go home, and it is roasting in here, it's like 30 degrees. I'm going to go home, put the feet up. So hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you back again here shortly for part 2 of 2.8 Xpack. And yeah, workshop's coming up too, hopefully in the next week or two. The steelwork and concrete frame and stuff should all be up for the workshop, so plenty of stuff coming up. Thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, do all the good stuff, and see you in the next one. Bye.